Hi, welcome back. Another important session. In this session, we're going to see what is ATP and what is TOR, okay, in S4 HANA. So I think if you're from ECC background, you already heard that what is ATP. If you are quite new to uh, SAP and in this era, in this generation, you are learning, then I'll try to give minimum to maximum explanation. ATP means available to promise quantities. What exactly the promise? What is the availability? Okay. Availability means, for example, especially in sales order processing, whether order or delivery, you can able to schedule the ATP process. Okay. What is the availability, material availability, and that you are going to promise for your customer. For example, he asked for certain delivery date, whether you can able to, uh, you know, whether you can able to reach the goods from your plant to your customer destination. For that, you will do background mechanism, and there is one background functionality which work based on your certain configuration, that is called available to available to promise. Okay. Okay, fine. Available to promise, you understood. This we will call it as a availability check. Okay. Based on the configuration, whether you would like to check in sales order or delivery. So if you would like to perform the destiny of ATP, whether whether you are going to check these quantities, okay, uh, is going to meet your customer delivery date or not, whether the stock is available. If stock is available, partially available or fully available, that check we'll call it as a availability check. What about transfer of requirements? If the stock is not available, you will raise a request to MRP. There will be one MRP controller. MRP means material requirement planning. Please try to understand these terms. So he will plan the uh, goods either through external procurement from vendors after manufacturing and get it ready as a finished good to your stock, or else internally also they can able to manufacture and plan for this. Let's try to check the same thing in S4 HANA. Stay tuned with me. Okay, you can able to see this. What is the purpose of ATP actually? Okay, as I explained, the availability check and requirement transfer help to determine delivery date for customer. Okay, so you raised a particular sales order. You requested that today it is available, but actually, if the so he requested for 100 stock, only 50 quantity of the stock is available. So let me try to explain you in a better way by using Excel. Okay, so if you understand the concept, it's quite easy to perform the configuration and get the things done for your client. For example, so someone raised a sales order, okay, for 100 pieces, okay. Either warehouse or storage location you can take. So from your plant, STLOC, storage location, only 10 pieces available, okay. So like when you get an order, so he is expecting today itself. What is today? Today is 19/10/2024. But actually, to give the remaining, of course, for giving this 10 goods and to give the remaining goods, you require a manufacturing process. Okay. You will raise a request by using, so this is assume that your MRP department, so they will plan for it. So it is going to consider various lead times. That means for each and every process, how much it will take. Okay. So maybe manufacturing 2 days, and so to receiving to your place, GR time 2 days. Okay. So this is processing time. So this is goods receipt time. And after that, so you are going to do pick and pack. Okay. It is going to take another 2 days for that remaining 90 pieces. And you will do uh, load. And if you send these goods through truck for your route, it may take another 5 days. What exactly it is happening? So the total sum of these days will be exactly equal to 11 days. Okay. So, so what is the current date today? 90 plus 10 plus 2024. Okay. If you add 11 days, it's almost goes to, so 29, so 30th, they can get it ready. Okay. So it's not like just like that you cannot able to confirm your delivery date. So based on your delivery date, you are going to calculate. Suppose if stock is already available, okay, 100 is available. You have another case. If the stock is, as I said, that 10 pieces partially and remaining 90 need to be manufactured. That is another case. And all these things, if you would like to deliver for his place, all these are the activities should be common. Okay, pick pack time, load time, and your GR processing time. Okay, the stock is not available. We'll call it is you just hold your nerve. I'll try to explain you. The stock is not available. We are going to consider one more time that is called RLT, replenishment lead time. Okay, to get the stock get ready for your inventory. So then all these lead times. Not only these lead times, you will have other lead times also at your customer end. So the material available date to and delivery date, you are going to calculate in two ways: forwarding scheduling and backwarding scheduling. That we are going to discuss after some time. So this is the brief about just a theory. Okay, to calculate your delivery date, as I said that delivery date in the previous example, 30th it came. So these also determining whether goods are ready or to be produced. As I explained that whether it need to be manufactured remaining 90 pieces based on the previous example, or else it need to be procured externally from your vendor. All these things is going to calculated by using ATP and transfer of requirements. Challenges: how to allocate the stock based on the two important factors. One is priority of the customer apart from these lead times. So like, as I said that, okay, if you go back to the previous example, so you'll maintain delivery priority. Okay, delivery priority is something like very high in your customer master, you're going to maintain, right? And delivery priority in shipping tab, high. Okay, there is something called medium, there is something called what I would say low, or like that, you can able to define. These are the things based on the customer requirement. You can able to define A, B, C, D, or else 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, you can able to define this delivery priority, especially like, collective ordering processing and multiple collective delivery processing and multiple sales orders, open deliveries. If you are processing for or delivery creation and PGA, such a case, this is the functionality which comes into picture. Okay, so let's try to add this example. So for example, he is the ex customer. Okay, so the stock is available by, let's assume that stock is readily available. Don't consider RLT in this example. RLT, what exactly I will show you. Don't worry about this. So let's go to the 100 pieces readily available, no partial and all those things. So but still they need to consider you don't require these times. Okay, stock is finished goods available, pick pack time and load time. So such a case, so it need to be 7 days. So if you add 7 days, it's almost comes like 20 6. Okay, so he can able to get as early as possible. Okay, so like, so if this is the case, okay, this is from current date to, if you calculate the date when it's supposed to be delivered after calculating lead times, since material available date is equal to your current date, 100 stock is available. Such a case also, there is one more person called Jed also put the order for, so another 50 stock. But this guy is like in a low priority customer. Okay, he placed an order, but Jed is placed order after some time, or else the next day, 20th. So, but still priority will go to this customer because he is a very high priority customer. So all these fights generally happens at inventory and okay. So all these things needs to be calculated automatically by using functionalities in SAP. So ATP and delivery in intervention with the delivery, customer delivery priority also will be there. And second one is, this is the most challenging situation. What is the nearest distribution center identification? Like, it is a distribution center, can be your plant, or else it can be real distribution center like retail. So see, all these are the challenges you will have. Even ATP performs in uh, on system also. Okay, on system also, not in on system also. So AV check in sales order. So like if you would like to perform, what might need to be done? Material master I required, because plant level you are going to determine what I would say, delivery plant is the criteria to determine your availability check, stock availability. Okay, so plant and storage location, or plant or warehouse, that is the place where you will maintain stock. Then, so your plant will be at metal master, right? So which plant? Okay, plant has a certain criteria, like the plant can be from so the material need to be extended to the uh, certain plant, XYZ plant. The material, if it is supposed to be extended to the three different plants, it can be, a plant can be determined from material info record or customer master or else material master. But the question is that the material supposed to be extended to the particular plant where what is it is got determined in the sales order. Based on that, it is going to do the availability check. Suppose if you take, as I said that I have already explained, the criteria will be CMR, customer material. Okay, first priority. Second one is like your customer master record. Okay, second. And third is metal master record. Third. Okay, so whatever the case you take, so it is like ZP01, this is ZP02, based on the master data maintenance, it is going to determine. For example, if you put a sales order war, okay, so if it is ZP01, okay, so if it is ZP01 determined, it will check the criteria. The main criteria starts for availability check the plant which is going to determine in your sales order. Suppose it can be ZP03, then it will check here only. Okay, so the delivering plant which is going to determine is the criteria. Okay, so material master settings will be there, and you will have a customizing settings. Finally, it is going to check the sales order availability. Okay, what are all the lead times it is going to get considered? As I explained that, okay, transportation lead time, this is from the route, transportation planning time, and your procurement lead time, and pick pack time from your shipping point. Let's see this. So route, uh, so 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 if you'd like to determine the date, right, delivering date, shipping point where the goods is issued, like loading, picking, and loading will happen. Sometimes packing lead time also will be there. So offline. So loading group from the your metal master, weight group. So route from the shipping point. All these are the criteria to determine your date actually. Okay. So generally there is something called material availability date. Okay. So if the full stock, as I said that 100 stock is available, so then how it will be calculated, requested delivery date. If you pick, pack, and loading time, and uh, various route lead times, all these factors comes into picture. Okay. What is exactly ATP quantity? So all these things, your system is going to perform by standard SAP program at background level. So supply means what is the current stock it is checking. For example, if you are receiving any stocks from your vendor, or else it is in the manufacturing process. So when it is going to receive. So this plus this, that means you have a stock with you, and upcoming stock also another 50 will you. It will consider. Okay, when it is coming. By today, is it going to come or something like that? Issues. When, how many sales orders actually utilizing this demands, based on that your ATP quantity will be calculated. Okay, I'll tell you simple example. So for example, as I said that you have a 100 quantity in inventory. So you got a sale order one, which is for 50 quantity. You got a sale order two, this is for 100 quantity. Like that you have a two sales orders. So the stock is 100 quantity, actually 50 is there. So some 50 it is in processing. Okay, like it is going to add to your inventory. So maybe like 200. So like 200, 300 is coming. Okay, based on the today's date, 300 is ready. So it will calculate the lead time. Okay, so assume that if I further complicate it, out of 300, 150 I'm going to utilize it. Maybe you can say that some issues also there. Okay, so this is all, these are like open for AV check. Okay, it is checking. So 300 is ready for me. But actually, so last 5 days, I have few more orders. Like, another 5 sales orders are there. Those are going to consume like another 200. 300 minus 200. But actually, its demand is 150. Suppose so 300 all put together, and if you take 200, 100 is available. But actually, we require 50. For the remaining 50, again, by using backward scheduling, and it is going to check when the remaining 50 is available, or else it will go to the forwarding scheduling later, and it will going to determine your delivering date. Okay, don't confuse. So that is the background process. The priority, sometimes in interview, they might ask the question like, what it is going to happen at the time of ATP check. You can able to say that first it will do backward scheduling. So if material availability date falls under below the uh, current current date, so then it is fine. Otherwise, if it is crosses, okay, material availability date to further, after adding lead times, it will go for forward scheduling. Okay. So let's see this. What is forwarding scheduling? So if you look at this, forwarding scheduling based on below concept, it's quite simple. You can understand this. Okay, this is available date, material available date. Okay, this is order finish date, and this is order today date. For example, from today date, okay. So first you try to check backward scheduling. It is quite easy. Okay. So for example, so this is the requirement date. Okay. So suppose if the finish date, system will calculate the system will do backward scheduling based on the below concept. If you look at this, okay, so order start date is here, okay, but order finish date is here, okay, and your requirements means your material starting date is here. So you will do first GR processing date, our in-house production date, and this is operating period. Okay, if all these considered, okay, so what it will happen if you see this? So if it is false, if your material date is false below the current date, then it will go for backward scheduling. Otherwise, after considering these lead times, it is crosses material lead, material available date, it goes further, then it will go for forwarding scheduling. Okay. So if you see forwarding scheduling, so available date is this one. Okay. So from today, so you have a today date, you got an order starting date, but actually a material available date is happening in future. Okay. After going backward scheduling, because it is crosses the date from, so then it goes for in-house production for another few days, and goods receipt for another few days, order finishes this, then available date comes into picture. See, first system will calculate backward scheduling. Okay. From today's date to material availability date, if it is in the past, then it will satisfy with backward scheduling. From today's date to, if it goes to the further lead times, it is not it is not happening in the past, it is coming to the future, then it will go for forwarding schedule, and future date it will decide most of the times. So you look at this, see, you have a backward scheduling, requesting delivery date is here. Okay, from here, transportation lead time, loading time, and pick pack time, transportation planning time, and procurement date. Okay, from today date, from today's date, for example, from requested delivery date, today's date is in the day when you got the order. From that, if it goes further, then it will determine this. So from today's days to, after calculating in backward scheduling time, all lead times, if even it is a single day also, if it moves further, so from delivery date, from today days to, it calculates further requested delivery date move to the here. Okay. So let's see. So you look at this, this is the typical example. So requested delivery date is here. Okay. So transportation for goods issue date and loading, pick pack time, everything is calculating. But transportation planning date, it is crosses. Okay, from today's date to further. So if it is crosses further, then it will go to the forward scheduling because it need to allocate this time here. So the confirmation of the delivery time is the combination of your forward and backward scheduling actually. Okay. So controls of availability check. So from here, the configuration and everything starts. Let me explain you in next session further things regarding ATP actually. Before that, I'll do one thing. Let's come to the Excel. So let's try to put it here. So if you look at this, and let me clarify material availability date from see below today date. Okay, below today date. That means why? Because from transportation planning date, we have given this space actually. It is went to backward and it is failed. It goes to further, and here pick pack time covered and loading time covered, and that's why it's went to the little further actually. Forward means generally it will give the future most of the time. So backward scheduling means whatever the delivery date he is expected from that date, generally material will be available. Okay. So material will be ready, whatever the date the customer is expecting. So let's catch up in next session. We'll try to discuss further on ATP.